Hello, here I am in my kitchen again. I just wanted to talk about pumpkin seeds. I keep reading on the internet, if you look for recipes, people say, oh, save the pumpkin seeds or the squash seeds. You can roast them up and they make a lovely snack. Well, whenever I get the seeds out of a squash or a pumpkin, I think you can't make these into a snack. They're just like two pieces of wood with a tiny little piece of seed in the middle. And surely people don't actually crack them open first before they do this. Anyway, I'm going to make pumpkin pie, and I'm making it using a squash. Squash, pumpkin, same thing, aren't they? Anyway, there's a recipe I found online by an esteemed British cook called Jamie Oliver, who suggests putting maple syrup in your pumpkin. He actually uses butternut squash, so he's not using pumpkin either. But they're all the same family, right? And they all have the same kind of seeds. He says reserve your seeds, put them on a tray, put 4 tablespoons of sugar on them. Well, he doesn't say put 4 tablespoons of sugar, but he says in the ingredients 6 tablespoons, and he says put 2 tablespoons in your filling. That leaves 4 tablespoons, right? So I'm thinking, how do you roast 4 tablespoons of sugar? But okay, I'm going to give it a go. If Jamie Oliver says you can do it, fair enough. So I put my squash seeds in my tray, and I put my I used 3 tablespoons of sugar. It seemed like ample to me. Put it in a hot oven. As I expected, the sugar melts and turns to a sort of a toffee, and you're supposed to take it out, according to Jamie, when the pumpkin seeds are crispy, or as I like to say, crunchy, because crispy is a modern adjective invented by advertisers. When I was young, nobody talked about crispy, it was just crisp. So anyway, here they are. Pumpkin seeds stuck to the tray, because when you let them cool, of course, the sugar turns to completely hard toffee. Are they crispy? They're certainly, yeah, crispy or crunchy, but they're still woody. You can't stop something woody from being woody just by roasting it. So, okay, it crunches up into little pieces of wood in your mouth. Sugar's nice. I've got to spit it out. So my theory is that all these chefs who talk about, oh, you can roast your pumpkin seeds, I've never actually done it. They just think, oh, you can roast pumpkin seeds. You can buy pumpkin seeds at a packet and roast them. But they're a different kind of pumpkin seed. They come from a particular kind of pumpkin that comes from Austria called a Styrian pumpkin. And their seeds come out with just papery sort of shells, not proper woody shells. This is where I'm storing my squashes. In the conservatory, under the conservatory sofa. I have got rather a lot, considering I don't seem to have a great deal of use for them. Whenever I mention pumpkins and squashes to people, they say, oh, you can use them for lots of things. And when you challenge them and say, well, what can you use them for? They say, oh, you can use them for soups and for pumpkin pie. So here is one of 2 orange squashes I got from my plants. They're actually supposed to be blue Hokkaido. It's an heirloom seed I got from a Canadian seed company. And when you look up Hokkaido squash, they're really actually orange like this, but the variety I got was blue. And this may just be a kind of regression or something. Reversion, how do we call it? Anyway, this is the sort of colour of a pumpkin, of the sort that you make pumpkin pie with. So I used one of these to make my pumpkin pie. And then I got a bit annoyed about pumpkin seeds, hence my little rant. This is the remains of the pumpkin, which I cut in wedges and roasted with maple syrup and spices sprinkled on to use in the pumpkin pie. But it was, even that medium-sized one was too big just to use for that, so I've got leftovers. And what I find is actually they're quite nice just to eat like this as a snack. Cold chunks of pumpkin. They're spicy and they're slightly sweet, not too sweet. And they're full of fibery goodness. So much better for you than biscuits or cakes. Oh, by the way, the pumpkin pie was excellent. Smooth, creamy and delicious. I put some in the freezer for later and I got it out to show you because I forgot to video it. So, I'd like to know, has anybody else roasted pumpkin seeds and managed to eat them and enjoy them? Because if so, please tell me how. See you next time.